Hi everyone, it is Grungy Girl Journals, Lori B, and I'm here to show you Southern Boho, and she's affectionately nicknamed Mimi. I have been a little sickly for, sorry, I've been a little sick for the last couple weeks, and so if I pause this suddenly, it's just because I'm going to have a coughing spell. It's not, it's gotten a lot better, but you just never know. And nobody wants to listen to that. So if suddenly it goes on pause, that's why. So yes, I am here to show you Southern Boho, and I love this journal. Um, a couple of people asked me on Facebook what I meant by Southern Boho, and or Southern Bohemian, and what's the difference. And honestly, it's just more of a feeling. um when the norm in junk journaling, when you think of boho, you think of very colorful, patterns, and very gypsy, which I love. I've yet to do one, and I would love to do one. And I have a project box that I'm kind of saving up all of, little scraps here and there to do a more bohemian journal. But I called this Southern Boho because I've lived in the South most of my life. This is more boho to me. Um, you could almost call it beachy boho, just from the colors, the soft blues and creams, and some whites. It's not as heavy looking as the regular bohemian, and I in no means mean to offend anyone having to do with gypsies. That sounds so stupid. But you know what I mean. I this is my version of bohemian, and I like all styles. And when I saw something on Pinterest that really inspired me, uh-oh, here I go. I saw something on Pinterest that really inspired me, and I believe it was the same day I had filmed my last video, which was an inspiration, uh, another inspiration that I had gotten. And that afternoon, I saw something, and my inspiration took a hard left turn because I I really wanted to do this. And my other project box, which has my more, what would you call it, Baroque, 1800s, more geared toward that era. I have that set aside, and I still plan on doing that, but I kind of had to go where the inspiration took me, and I really love how it turned out. So this is I cut up a bunch of my jeans. It's really hot in Florida, but I have lived most of my life in jeans. And it's just, I'm getting older to the point where, 64 in Florida. Yes, we have a lot of snowbirds down here that come from the north to get, for the summer. But I want to leave Florida and go up north because it's like the older I get, the less I can stand the heat. So anyway, what that has to do with my jeans is I didn't have a bit of problem tearing up my favorite pair of jeans that I thought I would never tear up. And so that's what started the front of this cover, is a rectangle piece of denim. And it's like a wash denim, very, faded. So that's how I started. I cut up some jeans into a rectangle, and that's all I had was just that. And then I started adding all of these little bits, laces, fabrics. Doesn't look very clear. Hold on a minute. See if I can make it a little more clear. Nope, nope, nope. No, 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 no. Okay, it's probably gonna have to stay in that area right there. Best I can do. I just started adding the bits, and it was fun finding all these little treasures tucked in. I have stuff tucked all over the place. Little snippets of pieces that I've saved. There's a little rhinestone right there, and this is gosh, I've had this a long time. I think it's a setting for something, for a pen, you know, a lapel pin. And I made a few roses out of seam binding. And these right here, this piece and this piece right here, I was a different pair of jeans, and you know how you can buy them ripped now, and they're already ripped and they're already distressed. Well, I just cut out the parts that were distressed and ripped and placed them onto this other piece of denim. So there's a piece of gold trim. So pretty. I love this stuff. I know it's a little blurry. I'm so sorry. There's some striped fabric that's like in a taupey gray brown, and just really just little snippets of things. I love these buttons, or as we call them, buttons. Did some doodle stitching. Just little pieces off of laces and doilies, and this is a hanky right here on the side. I made this out of some denim. This is from a doily. There's a rhinestone button. This is from some fabric, some Paris fabric that I have. Had just a little piece of snippet of that. A little cluster of French knots. That is a chandelier, a glass chandelier bead. Let's see, and this is a piece of fabric, and then these are tiny gold, bronzy gold buttons. And I sewed all those on. This is all hand sewn. I sewed the beads on, which are scattered throughout the cover, and then I took thread and just went from one to the other and kind of connected them all. Love this blue. So I did not attach the closure. It closes very well on its own. In other words, I didn't make it a gator mouth, which I'm very proud of myself. So, and then you get to the back, and as you can see, I finished the denim rectangle, finished adding things to it. This is a christening gown sleeve right here, by the way. I finished the rectangle for the most part, and then I found a piece of fabric that I had recently purchased, and I quilted it. That's what I call it. I don't really know what you call it. I just days and days of stitching. I must have been in a mood, because I stitched this entire cover, and I just placed the rectangle denim piece on top and sewed that on once I was finished with making the cover. And that is all hand done. And what these are, I needed some more texture. The stitches weren't enough, so I wanted some more texture. And what those are is, you know, tatting. Beautiful, beautiful tatting that I have a lot of problem cutting up. Well, I just kind of got to it, and I cut out the little tatting circles separately and sewed those on, and then in the center of each is a big French knot. So just really, I love feeling this journal. And there's just a okay, so I have to explain these flowers. And right here it says reality has limits, imagination is boundless. And I believe that's a Tim Holtz plate, and that's in like a silver, antique silver. So when I got this fabric, it was only, you know, I think it was a fat quarter, and it was hard to place the flowers to where, you know, the flowers are big, so I couldn't, I just couldn't cut it to where I could get a good variety of the flowers on the back. It doesn't matter on the front because, you know, it's covered up, but on the back. And then as I was making this, I was trying to decide, you know, I added this one obviously, but I was trying to decide, should I put this one, should I flip it and put it on top and then put this one on the bottom, or vice versa? And as I am making this, and I mentioned this on my Facebook, as I'm making this book, I realized there's a little story that goes with it. And again, not to be insulting of my younger friends that do this sort of thing. Here comes the cough. Hold on. Sorry about that. As I started making and, you know, thinking about the flowers, just something kind of came over me about getting older. My birthday was just in May, and I retired a couple of years ago. And as you get older, I'm not complaining at all, not at all. Let's just get that right in the open. But as you get older, you start becoming less. Oops. You start becoming less, and that's the best. You don't start becoming less. You start feeling like you're becoming less. And I think some of you will understand that, you know, when you go out in public, sometimes you feel invisible. You know, you're older, and I don't know. I'm not feeling sorry for myself, and I'm not depressed and all that. It's just kind of as you get older, that's kind of how you feel like you present. And I want to tell you, when you're older, you're everything but. You are more. You are so much more. You have all your wisdom. You have all that creativity built up. You have, you may be a little worn around the edges and frayed and been through a lot, but you've earned your jewels. These are all some rhinestones, and I mixed them in with the pearls. And as you can see on the bottom, this one is the newer, or it's the younger you, or the younger generation. And it's still, you know, it's pretty perfect. It's got its little pearl seeds. I put some Swiss dot netting over it, and that kind of signifies what you don't know yet, and you're not fully showing your colors yet. Doesn't this sound deep? Sounds so deep, but I swear I really do think these things when I'm creating. I do. I can't help it. And I know it sounds sappy, and I'm not going to apologize for that because that's just where my brain goes, and it really helps me with my creativity. Okay, so you will notice on the younger version, there's 4 petals. And on the older version, there are 5, and 1 is falling. And she has 5 petals because that's her added, that's just her, as she's getting older, she has 5 petals. I don't know how I can explain it, except they might be starting to fall away, but there's plenty left. There's plenty left. And I have to tell you, I think the older version is more beautiful than the younger. And again, that's not to say anything about the younger generation. That's not saying they're not beautiful. We're just beautiful in a different way. And so that's what the back of this signifies. And I wanted to put the older version on top. And that's just where it makes sense to me. So I hope that makes sense to you. I made the top flower out of denim, and I don't even know how I did that. Just stitched around it and placed it and sewed it on. And that is what that means. So I hope you like that, and I hope that it makes sense. You know, we are more. We are so much more than we used to be, and I relish that. I really do. I know I spend a lot of time talking about my covers, but to me they are the most enjoyable part of the process of making these journals. Is just all the I really get into it. Okay, I'm going to open her up. So about, I would say, well, after my first posting on Facebook with this book, the cover, when I was working on it, I did get somebody who was interested in it, and she has purchased it. And so what I did, she's a writer. She loves to journal, and she's taking a class, and she wanted a journal just to take notes during her class. So I tried to gear it. I had not started on the inside yet, so I tried to gear the inside more towards what she was looking for, was, to be able to write it and have plenty of space and not too much bulk, and minimal amount of what's inside, just so she could write in it. And it lays down beautifully for her to take notes. So this is, I covered up all my beautiful stitching, but that's okay, it's under there. I covered it with this beautiful lace, and this is a sewn in text signature. This is all sewn in, and it's a hidden spine. So that was tricky, and I swore I'd never do another one, and I've already started on another one because I like the challenge. So here is the cover, the inside cover, and this is just love this piece. Battenberg, and it's half of I believe it was a table runner. So I sewed in the signature blocks, and I used glue as well to keep it in place, and then I used the same lace, and then to cover the seam, just put this pretty little lace right there. So I found this page in one of my older books, and I ended up making a copy of it. It says, "To the friends at whose desire I have made it, I dedicate this little book." And it's just so perfect. The font and everything is just so perfect. So I think I'm going to probably put this in the front of several of my books, because it just fits in so well. And these are, I use digitals throughout, so I will list those in the description box. And this is where I started getting inspired for my cover, was this particular set of digitals. And I used old churches. There's 5 tags. All of them have been hand sewn. And I'm not sure if this is the same digital artist, but I will make sure I look those up and list them. And just some pieces of lace, and I love these buttons. And each back side is it's a pocket. And there's some more. So that is the first tag. And look at these digitals. I just fell in love with them. I mean, that looks like you could just pick that piece of lace up. I wish my my focus was better. Okay, so there's how many? 1, 2, 3. There's 5 signatures. And the first few pages are just that's a digital French receipt. This is the foreword of a book about buttons. I got that on Facebook Marketplace. That was a fun one to find. So each signature has a few pages in the front, and then you get to the section where this is my own lace, by the way. I made that digital. And then you get to several pages in each signature where you can write. And then there's a pocket after that writing space. So that's a French letter. And then there's the other side of that button book, or button book page. And you know, I've been struggling on what to do with this paper. It's pretty brittle. I did put some reinforcement on the crease, but I think I'm going to have to also put some on these spots. But yeah, I really wanted to use it because it's Christmas Eve, December 24th. So I will probably do a little patching on that. And then the back of the signature has some lines as well that you can do some writing. And then here's the back of that other digital. And I backed that with, I'm not sure if that's Japanese or Chinese, from a book. And this is signature number 2. Another church. This was a napkin, linen napkin. Some French knots. Is my camera gonna behave? No. for that as a pocket as well. Another lace digital. Just beautiful. And then your selection, I think there's 4 or 5 pages before the writing pages. Just, you know, for some interest, I like to add these little pages of interest. You Are My Sunshine. It's my favorite song from when I was little. A flower plate. And again, the section of writing. And here is the envelope, the back. It's a really old book right here. Signature number 3. Pocket. I just love these digitals. Paper bag. And a note section. And a pocket. I've been watching Big Brother Australia. I highly recommend it. It is so entertaining. But in my head, when I'm thinking to myself, I'm talking with an Australian accent. Good day, mate. I can't help it. It's just, you know, hopefully it'll leave soon. This Australian version of Lori. Ay, ay, ay. Anyway, it's on Hulu. No, it's on Paramount Plus. And this is 5. Nope, this is 4. And I used my rusty paper clips. This is one of the owl clips. And I do spray a finish on those so that the rust does not come off. Pocket. And again, the kind of old, what am I trying to say here? You know, these are older churches, but they're even more beautiful the way they are now. They've got some peeling paint, you know, but they're still so beautiful, not only to look at, but that feeling that you get when you look at them, and so that kind of goes throughout the book. The older laces with the wood on the digitals, same thing. You know, it's seen a few years, but even more beautiful than before. Note section. Pocket. And here is the 5th and final tag. I made these with some of the denim This is just some embroidery floss. And the last signature. So you can kind of see where I've gone here. It's just mainly, you can't call it a plain journal, but it's not a full-fledged journal, junk journal either. It's just, hopefully, I would love to see one of my journals written in. I just completely full of writing. And there's my signature card. The end. So that's it. I hope you like her. I hope you understand the meaning behind it. I tried to explain it anyway. And sorry if I rambled. But this is going off to the new owner tomorrow. And I hope she's excited about getting it, because I'm excited for her to get it. I think she's the perfect person for it. So I've already started on another journal, just barely. I'm not going to tell you anything about it. I love it. I'll tell you that. Oh, that's another thing I wanted to talk about. I'll talk about that for like 2 minutes. You know, I always feel funny when I say that I love something that I did, or isn't this beautiful? I did this. And I don't want that to come off, you know, egotistical or arrogant or anything like that, because I think that people should be proud of what they do and what they're able to accomplish, no matter what. We need to give ourselves pats on the back. We need to say good job, because we really don't hear that enough in our everyday lives. And I think that's important, that we give ourselves that positivity. And to be honest with you, I'm always shocked at what I produce and what I'm able to do. And that's not taking away from what anybody else can do, because everybody does their own thing and it's equally as beautiful. But never be afraid to say out loud that you have loved something that you have done. There's nothing wrong with that at all. And it'll make you feel better. And I would like for you to say hi to my Louie. I miss you, baby. We're coming up on the 2-year anniversary of when she left me. I guess that's it. I was talking about my next journal. It is going to be a writing journal again, geared more towards just journaling, but it's going to be really special. So hopefully sometime soon, if I don't take another nosedive with this. See, I just think about coughing and I want to cough. Hold on a second. Okay. Hopefully if I don't go have a sink and spell again, I have a feeling I'm on the end of this bad cold that I got. So hopefully in the next week or so, or maybe sooner, I'll be posting the beginnings of the next journal I'm doing. So everybody have a beautiful Sunday. Have a great week, and I will see you next time.